you?
I'm good. Thank you.
How's the start of camp going?
Pretty good. I just think it's been very competitive on both sides of the ball, and that's what you want. That's what you want at this time of the year. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be great plays. There's going to be good plays. There's also going to be some bad ones. But at the end of the day, you want the effort to be high, and I think our guys are doing that.
What are you specifically focused on right now?
For me specifically, just cleaning up some of my mechanics. I feel like I can always get better at those types of things. And then just mastering the offense, trying to get our guys in the best play possible, and making sure we can create advantages that way.
How much does Jayden Daniels kind of pick your mind as you guys are going through this, just during the day, at practice, whenever?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
How much does Jayden Daniels kind of pick your brain, just about things in general?
Plenty, and that's what's really been cool for me, is to have that dialogue, because I think when you have a guy that's willing to learn, that wants to absorb as much knowledge as he can, I think that really makes the whole room better. For Jayden, he's a young guy, but we got to do it as a part of our group. We have to kind of create these scenarios and these experiences for him. That way, when he gets into the game, it's not something that's brand new. So I think he's done a great job asking questions, and we can also always just kind of keep bringing him along.
And you guys have a lot of former quarterbacks on the coaching staff. Do you like that? Does that help you even at this stage in your career?
Absolutely, because it just creates conversation. More times than not, when you're able to have a bunch of guys in a room that have played the position, you can kind of you can have these problem-solving conversations. It's always going to be different day in and day out. Our defense does a great job of creating different looks, creating problems. So for us, I always believe if we can be in the problem-solving business, and when you have a bunch of quarterbacks that have played the position, that makes it a whole lot easier.
Hey, Marcus, first day with fans. Some players will say that once they get to business, it's all about business, and you kind of almost tune everything else out. Are you in that mindset, or does the fan energy around you really kind of impact your practice?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of both. It's awesome to have the fans out here. It's awesome to feel that energy. And it's also kind of cool for me to see, Hawaii flags. We're all the way here on the East Coast, and you have people that are bringing Hawaii flags or from Hawaii coming to practice. So it's such a cool event. I think it's awesome for fans to be able to engage with the players, and also for us to engage with the fans.
And then given the rules with obviously quarterback contact and everything, when the pads come on in training camp, how much different is it really for the quarterback position?
With the non-contact, it really isn't much different, per se. But I think for us, it's so much more up top, right? Our game is so much more focused on the mindset of it, how we're getting our guys in the best possible plays, how are we getting out of bad plays, just different things like that. So I think for us, this time of the year is such more of a mental grind, so that when we get to the season, our minds are ready to go and create these problem-solving. Just to create problem-solving for us. Sorry.
Hey, Marcus, with Jayden Daniels, you were talking about helping him to come along. Where have you seen the most improvement in his development, Jayden, as far as at this stage of camp?
Yeah, I think really just his understanding of the offense. He's done a great job of commanding once he's in there. It's never easy to come in and you've got guys that are 7, 11 years in, but his command, his willingness to learn the offense, to be prepared, I think he's done a great job of that. And the more that he can do that, I think that's going to create a lot of confidence with a lot of guys.
Marcus, right here. Marcus, you and Jayden are both Heisman winners. If there's ever been a time where you're kind of like, hey, I hope you know that my Heisman was a little better than yours, a little competition like that?
No, not at all, not at all. It is pretty special to be able to share that. It's a very unique fraternity to be a part of, and to have him as a teammate and also somebody that's been a part of that journey as well is pretty cool, and we can share a lot of those experiences together.
Marcus over here. What are some of the things you learned going through the same experience that Jayden is that can now help him?
Yeah, I think we talk about it all the time in the quarterback room. When you're a young guy, you really want to try to come in and be perfect, and I think that's hard, and I really think that can be detrimental in some sense to your growth. I really think you have to come out here, you're going to fail, you're going to have mistakes, and what you have to be able to do is to learn from those things. And I think he's got such a great mindset in that sort of space where he's just like, you know what, regardless of how this play results, I'm going to do my best to put our guys in situations that will be successful. and just go out there and play. And when he's able to do that, I think that ultimately will kind of showcase his abilities and how good of a player he can be.
Is that about like not, maybe taking a chance with the ball? Is that kind of what you're talking about? What are in terms of making mistakes?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of that. It's maybe getting into a check or getting out of a bad play. So there's several instances where that may come up. I think for me personally, when I was a young player, I was just trying to be perfect, have the perfect feet, and you kind of lose that sense of playing the position and just being instinctual. So I think for us, we're just trying to help him kind of, hey, just be an instinctive player that you've been, but here's kind of what we want, kind of the guidelines that we want you to follow so you can go out there and be successful.
Hey, Marcus, tomorrow pads are, it's going to be a pad practice. I know you're still going to have the gold jersey on, but what is it? It's obviously a mile marker for the team. For the offense for you? What does it mean to get that part of this going?
Well, I think it's establishing the line of scrimmage. Our guys up front, it's been 6-7 months since they put pads on and have been hitting. So kind of getting that rust off in that sense. Our defense, I already know they're going to come in and set the tempo. So for us, it's just kind of making sure our guys are going in the right direction, but also just establishing line of scrimmage, creating leverage, and just going out there and using your pads.
You mentioned quarterback play, trying to be instinctual. Can you get to a point in camp where you are learning a new offense and you can be comfortable enough in it to be able to be instinctual like you would,
Yes, absolutely. And I think what's really been cool with us is we've had a ton of reps. Whether that's mental reps in the classroom, in the meeting rooms, or out here on the field through walkthroughs, through plays. So I always feel like you learn the best when you experience it. So I think for all of us as quarterbacks, we appreciate that we get a bunch of reps. That way we can see it, we can feel it, and then once we get into these game-like scenarios, we'll be very comfortable.
And when you're watching other quarterbacks kind of try to get to that space, is it speed through reads? Is it going off schedule? How will you know when somebody's kind of feeling comfortable enough that they have a mastery of an offense?
I think it's a balance of those things. Anticipating where the ball should go, and then from there, if it doesn't look right or something's kind of not visually right in your mind, to go make a play. I think with all of our quarterbacks here, our guys all can create with their legs, and as you can see across the league, that type of dimension on offense is very, very key, and I think it's very critical. And the more that we can play on time, but also create and have a balance of those things, is when you start to see guys playing very instinctual. Yeah, he's done a great job. It's not easy, and when you're coming in to be the guy to kind of revitalize a franchise, it is tough. But I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's done a great job of handling all that, and we can always kind of help him through that, right? We can kind of be that shoulder he can lean on. We can be kind of that guy that he can lean to in terms of experiences and, hey, what happened here? How did you do that? And he's done a great job asking questions too. So just kind of all together helping him through that. But I really believe he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's handled it well.
Marcus, since you've gone through it before, the expectations of the rookie, and not asking for Jayden specifically, but where are you at with the idea of, hey, if you drafted a quarterback early, put him in, start him, versus watch, learn, and get used to what's happening?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it ultimately comes down to each person individually. Some guys kind of come out hot and play really well, and then there's also some guys that have really benefited from taking a couple years or taking a few months and watching and learning. So I think it's really got to come down to the coaches and how they feel the young quarterback is progressing. And I really believe it really kind of falls on the quarterback room. How can we help him feel most comfortable and confident? And then from there, it ultimately is him to make the plays and go out there and do his thing. Yeah, I felt pretty comfortable right away. For me personally, like probably my best 2 years of my career, my first couple. So I was lucky to have a good quarterback room. I had a vet in Charlie Whitehurst and Zach Mendenberger who really took care of me. And then my second year with Matt Casso and Alex Tanning, when you have a quarterback room that's really focused on helping the young guy, you can't take anything away from that. It's really special. So I was very fortunate early on in my career to have that, and we're trying to create that type of atmosphere here for Jayden.
Marcus, right here. We talked about how the fans impact practice, but this is your first chance getting to see them as a member of the organization. Can you talk about what they added for you for practice and how you've adjusted to the area?
It was great. I love having the fans here at practice. It creates an energy, creates an atmosphere, and it's fun. For me specifically, see Hawaii flags, that was really cool. And I really love the Ashburn area. I love the DMV. I think it's been a really easy transition for my family and I. We love the diversity. We love being able to go out and eat and do all those types of things, and we've really enjoyed it. So as this year goes on, we look forward to meeting fans and being a part of this, and we're thankful we're here. Thanks, Marcus. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.